Hi my friends, Loco here. I've been pretty AFK for a while, but LCS is up again and I'm starting to do content. There's a lot of problems with the broadcast and it's been talked to death. Everyone's made a video on it.
It attempted to, it would appear, mimic the LEC's fun vibe by having meme material, except this was just bad meme material.
I fucking love Sushi Dragon.
I also just want to address the use of the word cringe.
And instead of me making another video on it, I'm going to talk about something different. Why I find LCS interesting. There's so much storylines to keep up with, and I think compared to the other leagues, our storylines is something that stands up. Our level of play isn't something to be proud of in the recent years, but I still do think LCS has a lot of stories and a lot of strong figures that keeps the league very interesting and wanting me to keep watching it and figure out, hey, what's gonna happen? Hey, how's this player gonna end up? Hey, how's this new roster gonna do? Off the top of my head, in the last 2 years, we've had the rise and fall of TSM, Team Liquid finally getting their trophy, not just one, but 4 of them. And also C9's evergreen placement at the top despite their roster always changing year to year. With LCS going online only because of the COVID situation, and our level of play honestly being just dog shit from most of the teams, I can see why the fans are so pessimistic about LCS, but there's still very, very interesting and intriguing storylines to keep up with. So I want to highlight those in the video, and yeah, let's get right to it. Number 1. Is TSM finally dead? TSM used to be synonymous with being best in North America. They had the most popular players, they had incredibly dominant rosters, they were the most popular team, but also the most dominant team. Do you guys remember the original roster of Reginald, Dyrus, and Odd1? And they went from that to Bjergsen being the new star player, with me joining as coach and bringing over Lustboy. We won 2 championships there. And finally, with the Doublelift Bjergsen era, that was incredibly dominant also. They won 3 trophies, I want to say. Yeah, they won 3 trophies, went to Worlds, bombed out both times, but that's just TSM. Regionally, TSM has had 3 different rosters that were just trophy farming. But in the recent times, TSM has lost a lot of their shine. The last time they won a trophy is 2017 summer, and they haven't made Worlds for the last 2 years. The name TSM just doesn't carry the same kind of presence anymore, even in North America, and the org made 2 controversial but hard-hitting changes going into summer. So let's talk about how that's been. They replaced their new import Kabe with the league's most decorated and popular player in Doublelift, who has a rather personal history with the team. Once again, the Dardoch experiment did not go well, and TSM's replacing him with Spica, a young jungler that stood in for the team when TSM wasn't happy with either of their LCS junglers in 2019 summer. Doublelift started the season with his usual trash talk.
TL didn't treat me well the last split that I was on it. I would just want to destroy that team like so badly. I want to humiliate them, I want to embarrass them.
But he ended up getting dumped by his former team. And just last weekend, he tried to step out of his comfort zone by playing Syndra.
No easy escape tools for either the TSM bot laner. There's a stun and a Biofrost.
But yeah, that was also trash. The whole meme of Doublelift can't play mages is going on and on. As for Spica, he also had a rather unfortunate first game. He picked Kayn, an off-meta carry jungler, and he didn't transform until 23 minutes in a 25-minute game. And that champion is pretty much useless unless you're transformed into Shadow Kayn or Rust form. But there is a silver lining. He had a standout performance versus IMT. He picked Lee Sin, he was invading, the whole team was playing for him. It was just really good to see.
Allowing their opponents to push up, and now here it goes. TP's also coming in. It's Broken Blade looking to join the fight as Altec's taken very low, taken down over the top rope, and there goes Gate 2. Broken Blade guarantees it.
We haven't seen a TSM jungler do the Diffie in the Jiffy in a long while, and it was such a breath of fresh air.
Spica should be able to clean this one up nice and easy before Potluck arrives. Yes, sir. And Gate will look to sweep away some vision as Aka drops the shockwave on himself, trying to get away. Nice pillar coming down. Spica could be in some trouble here. Kicks Aka away, but able to follow after and flash back over the wall to safety. Winter's Bite finds it, but the rest of the damage not quite there.
And yeah, it made me hope for TSM, it made me hope for Spica. Overall though, TSM still looks weak as a team compared to the rest of the field. They're 2-2, the only 2 wins they have are over Dignitas and Immortals, pretty much the worst 2 teams in the league. And competition is rougher than ever. TL, EG, FlyQuest, C9 are actually competitive teams, and yeah, it's gonna be really hard for TSM to win let alone go to Worlds this year. I think one thing that a lot of fans didn't account for is Doublelift and Bjergsen is no longer cheat codes for the team. Back in 2017, when Doublelift and Bjergsen played for TSM, they were pretty much unstoppable. It was legit like having hacks on. But now the competition has leveled up. Let's look at Doublelift in 2017. I think the AD carries that were most relevant and that were most competitive to Doublelift were Sneaky and Turtle. And yeah, Doublelift was a step above both. And it's the same story for Bjergsen. In 2017, it was Bjergsen standing tall over players like Jensen and Pobelter, but in 2020, I think it's fair to say that both Power Beeble and Niski were better players than Bjergsen in Spring. And you look at rest of the field. Players like Jizuke, players like Jensen definitely have standout moments and are better players than Bjergsen in certain games. He just isn't that number one best mid laner in the league anymore. I think this is the weakest that TSM has been relative to the competition, and everyone's watching to see if it's going to be another disaster year, or if TSM can prove everyone wrong and show that the name TSM still commands a lot of respect in LCS. The number 2 storyline to keep an eye on. What does Team Liquid look like without Doublelift? I guess LCS is an anime, and Doublelift pretty much is the protagonist, cause yeah, all the storylines pretty much revolve around him. So originally when Team Liquid built their roster, it was heavily focused around Doublelift. Almost every single player that joined talked about him being a draw, or specifically mentioned that he is the reason why they joined Team Liquid, and now that player you built the roster around is gone. And it wasn't a cordial exit. Rather, there was a lot of poop flinging from both Doublelift and the Team Liquid staff. Doublelift aired out dirty laundry talking about how his teammates and coaches didn't really support him, and yeah, the players and the staff fired back. Dodo, the assistant coach, talked about how problematic Doublelift was, and Team Liquid players have individually spoke up and talked about how easy it is to play with Tactical compared to Doublelift. Let's put the drama aside. What did Team Liquid change going into summer? Well, they have a new head coach, and Jat, they stole him from the LCS broadcast. Jat, come back, the broadcast needs you. Also, they gave Tactical, the Academy AD carry that was temporarily playing as AD carry, a permanent spot. So yeah, he's the new starting AD carry. As for the gameplay, I would say it's been neutral to positive. They still retain their identity as a team fighting team that likes to scale into later portions of the game and likes to play around objective. Very easy peasy style in North America. But the bonus has been the individual players stepping up compared to how they played in Spring Split. Poor JJ has standout performances on both Bard and Blitz and is reminding us that he's a world winner.
In review from Spring, well, let's get a little action first.
Yeah, it's a good stun. Ulti's available, so they cannot guarantee the kill in the Biocross, so instead Doublelift is the target, but the root is not available. Tempered Fate is, though. Broxik ain't part of this fight. They'll have some slows. The ulti comes in to guarantee it. JJ gets kill credit and goes right back over to his team. Well, they're going to land one of them, but Tactical's still going to get away from that one. The hook into the turret. Goodbye, Meteos. He's running quickly. The hook's gonna land again. Core JJ rarely misses.
Impact, another Worlds winner, created something out of nothing when he saved the game with a very important catch on Mordekaiser.
To make the right decisions in this situation. Impact going after Damonte here yet again, looking to find the kill. Nicely done. And now he's going to use the stasis to buy himself some time. He trying to do something here, but he's going to be pulled to safety by FBI. Golden Guardians have to retreat. They've lost their mid laner. Impact just picks that one up for free.
Lastly, Tactical hasn't been a slouch and he's been able to keep up with everyone on the team. So yeah, I'm pretty hopeful for this TL roster. The lineup is solid and it seems like they have better teamwork. I'm a little worried for their mid and jungle synergy, but hopefully it's something they can work on in the future and get better. From hearing about how they did in scrims and also combined with how they've been performing on stage, I am hopeful for this Team Liquid roster and I do think they're gonna do damage in North American playoffs. Like I mentioned before, there's a lot of good teams in the upper half of LCS, and it's going to be interesting to follow how this new iteration of Team Liquid is going to do going into the future. The final storyline that I've been keeping my eyes on is C9 Unstoppable. C9 showed one of the most dominant splits ever in spring 2020, and the big question for them has been, are they going to be able to maintain the same form? Because yeah, in LCS, players get lazy, players get complacent, so it's been very interesting to see how they would do. And They've been killing it. They've been very fucking good. After 4 games, they're still undefeated with convincing victories over their biggest competition in FlyQuest and EG. The reigning MVP Blabber is better than ever, and it's a jungle meta. There's a lot of carry champions being played. Graves, Olaf, Kindred, Nidalee, and Blabber does so well on these champions, and the whole team knows how to play around him.
And we'll see where he wants to go from there. But Santorin looking for a fight here in mid lane. Wants it though. He's trying to put as much damage down as he can, but he knows he can live through this one and absolutely obliterates one. Santorin goes down. Ignar's gonna follow, and Blabber is just one-manning this fight. Now the rest of the team comes in, and it's gonna be all of Cloud9, but will they lose another member with this happening? Turtle firing in from the side, and still FlyQuest chips away as their members go down. Cloud9 finds himself on top, and Blabber back at 100% HP.
Speaking of the whole team, the rest of the roster is still very, very good. They're either best in their position or at worst, second best. I think it's so incredibly rare to have teams like this in LCS. And yeah, we should celebrate C9. We should be proud of C9. The players are individually good. It seems like they have a great culture, and Reaper and Jack are doing great leading the team from the top. I pray to God they can maintain all the momentum, all the great level of play going into playoffs, going into Worlds, and hopefully, we can get a valid international competitor from LCS. So these are the 3 main storylines that I'm gonna be very much keeping up with, and I'll do videos on these, but it's not like LCS is only about 3 teams. I think FlyQuest is also an interesting team. They've been incredibly solid. They went from the whole Snickers team to now TreeQuest, to now SeaQuest. Their whole social media has been a very pleasant surprise. They're no longer a joke of an org. They're a very solid team with good fundamentals. Some negative storylines, but Dignitas, they talked about having a 10-man roster. They talked about how they have 10 viable LCS players, but they're 0-4 in LCS and 1-3 in Academy, so I'm not even sure if they have 2 or 3 LCS viable players. Immortals is an absolute dumpster fire of a team. Every single player and coach I talked to have been telling me how terrible they are in scrims. They benched 3 players on their LCS roster, Hakuho, Apollo, most importantly Xmithty, and yeah, they have 3 Academy players playing for the main team. So that's a storyline to keep up with if you like disaster. Anyways. I hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment. I'm going to be doing my absolute best along with my editor to give you guys 2 LCS and League of Legends videos per week. So make sure you press that subscribe button. It really truly does help me. And I've been streaming on twitch.tv on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, the LCS games. It's called Co-Stream. You get to watch LCS with me. I'll be casting over the games. I'll be talking about the games. So don't forget to check me out at twitch.tv/Locodoco. Oh, and one last final thing, I can't forget this. I'm not crazy, I'm just loco. Bye.
Yeah, let's go. I ain't the first with the curse, with the thirst that I wanna be better, not worse, man it hurts. I'm on this earth with my words and I put them all together, insert, cause I wanna have worth. Working hella hard till they put me in the dirt. Gonna go far, man, listen to my words.